everyone, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, I'm going to explain naming the aromatic acids. In the last lecture, I have covered the topic naming aromatic aldehydes and ketones. And in the last lecture, I had given some work to write down. Okay, these were the 4 questions which I have given to write down it on your own. I'm going to solve now these questions, the answers to these questions. So quickly you can note down whether you have written the answers correctly. Okay. Now the 7th question, the naming is 4-methyl benzaldehyde, and here it is para-methyl benzaldehyde. Clear? All the rules and tricks, everything I have discussed in the previous lecture. Kindly watch my previous lecture to understand the concept more clearly. The next question is CHO and SO3H. So the naming in this case is benzaldehyde. First you are going to write down because the suffix is always the sulfonic acid. Okay. So benzaldehyde, and then between this aldehydic and SO3H, more priority will be given to SO3H. If you go to the previous lecture wherein I have taught the topic priority order for the polyfunctional group, kindly watch that lecture first. Okay. So this is benzaldehyde, and then it becomes 3-sulfonic acid. Sulfonic acid. Okay. And then of course the naming here will be meta, and then the rest of the things will remain same. Benzaldehyde, sulfonic acid, right? Next, coming to the 9th question. Between this aldehydic and OH, definitely aldehyde will be getting more preference, more priority. Okay, over here it is 2-hydroxy benzaldehyde. 2-hydroxy benzaldehyde, and then over here it becomes ortho hydroxy benzaldehyde. Okay, the same thing you are going to write down one more time, but instead of 2 we are going to write down ortho. And this ortho hydroxy benzaldehyde, it can also be called as salicyl aldehyde. Okay, whenever there is OH group and aldehyde group, that is CHO, on the at the adjacent position or on the ortho position. Now coming the last one. The last one over here I can see is there is a CH3, then CO group. That means there is a ketonic group present. Okay, there is a ketonic group present. So how we are going to name it? The naming is 1-phenyl, okay, and then ethane known. Clear? Coming to now over here, this will be, or what I can do is I can simply write it down as ketone. Coming to now the next one. This is methyl on one side, then phenyl on the other side alphabetically, and then ketone you can write down, or it is acetophenone. Okay, already I have explained you what is acetophenone. So this is 1-phenyl, or you can also write it down as ethanoate. Clear? Okay. So this is the entire thing related to the aromatic aldehydes and ketones. Now let us proceed ahead with the topic, that is aromatic acids. Okay. Now we are going to proceed with aromatic acids. Now for aromatic acids, again the same thing we are going to do. That is benzene, when it is attached to COOH, benzene attached to carboxylic acid, it becomes a benzoic acid. Benzoic acid, and then the common name will also remain the same, that is benzoic acid. The second one is benzene, then COOH and CH3. Okay, so this is 1 and then 2. So this becomes a 2-methyl benzoic acid. Clear? 2-methyl benzoic acid. Now, if I look into the common name, I have a benzoic group as well as a toluene group. So what I can do is I can combine both the namings. So on the second position, there is a toluene, that is CH3 group. So what I can do is I will write it down as a tolu, and then instead of E, I'm going to replace it with IC. Okay, IC of the carboxylic acid. So it becomes a toluic acid. Okay. The third one is the naming, IUPAC name is 2-phenyl, and now this is easy, ethanoic acid because of 2 carbon. Here it becomes phenyl carboxylic acid. When it needs to name as common name, we call it as acetic acid, formic acid, right? Please go through the previous lecture. I have explained the topic functional group in detail using different examples separately for each and every functional group. Okay, so kindly go through the previous lecture first. Now we are phenyl and then acetic acid. Okay. Coming to now fourth, the fourth one is, this will be para bromo benzoic acid. Okay, para bromo benzoic acid. Sorry, this is 4-bromo benzoic acid. This will be para and then bromo benzoic acid. Clear? The fifth question. Now the fifth question over here, it is again the same thing. 2-hydroxy benzoic acid. Over here, this will be ortho, okay, ortho. And if OH and COOH are on the adjacent position, we call it as a salicylic acid. Okay, this becomes a salicylic acid. Do you remember in the last lecture, we have studied about salicylaldehyde. So what is salicylaldehyde, students? When OH and CHO both are present at the adjacent position. And what is salicylic? COOH group should be present adjacent to OH. Okay. Now coming to the next question. In the next question, we have 2 COOH group. So if 2 COOH group, then what we can do is, I will name this benzene first. Okay, benzene. Then on the first and the second position, we have dicarboxylic group, 2 carboxylic group, right? So dicarboxylic acid. And then the same thing over here, the common name or the special name of this compound is phthalic acid. Very important. In the practicals also, you may come across a experiment wherein you need to prepare this phthalic acid. Okay. Or from this phthalic acid, you can prepare phthalic anhydride. There is one experiment. So this is phthalic acid. Coming to seventh question. Now the seventh one is again 1 and 2. So this will be 2-nitro benzoic acid. And then the common name will be ortho nitro benzoic acid. Okay. So this is how you are going to write down the naming. Coming to now the next one, we have COOH and SO3H group. Okay, COOH and SO3H. Again, this is 3-sulfo. Here now, COOH and SO3H. So between these two, COOH will be given more priority. Okay, and sulfonic group can be written as a sulfobenzoic acid. Remember, in the last lecture, we have done wherein there was this SO3H and aldehyde. So between aldehyde and SO3H, SO3H is having more priority. But between COOH and SO3H, COOH will be having more priority. Okay. So this is the answer. Then coming to the ninth question, the ninth one is 2 COOH group we have. Okay, but it is present on the 1 and 4 position. So how we are going to write down the naming? Benzene, okay, benzene 1 comma 4 dicarboxylic acid, okay, dicarboxylic acid. Remember, we can write down this position, okay, before this benzene also. So it becomes 1 comma 4 benzene dicarboxylic acid. So both are correct. Clear? Coming to the common name of this compound is terephthalic acid. Okay, terephthalic acid. Clear? And then the last question. Now, this will be your homework. Okay, this you are going to solve it on your own. The answer you can write down in the comment box or you can just DM me. Clear? In the next lecture, I will be discussing the answer. And then along with this, we are going to solve the naming. Okay, we are going to discuss the naming of aromatic acid derivatives. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.